we have come to the last little tidbit of this dumpster fire we call 2020. And I wish nothing but many blessings and good luck into 21. Hopefully it's not a continuation of this that we have went through. And we are going to the last little few minutes or hour or whatever into 2020. So here is to 2020. Hopefully 21 will be better. And hopefully I don't turn into an alcoholic, okay? Bye 2020. What is up? What is up, Chubbs? What is happening, my baby?
What a top.
It is your girl, your favorite Chubb, back here. So, I have been gone for a little bit over a month, and it has been a little rough, and I'm going to explain now. I sound a little, not my chipper self, because I have, my 2020 has ended with a slap in the face, okay? As I said on my channel, I am an essential worker. I work as a CNA in a hospital, but that's beside the point. But this is my non-essential, of non-essential me, talking about what I've been through in the last, basically, month and a half of BS. Of how my 2020 has ended. Okay, so I don't know if I may have mentioned in previous videos, I may have not, but in November I have recorded maybe 1 or 2 videos in November about my couple appointments that I had. I think it was two videos I recorded in November of a couple appointments that I had when I went to the doctor, endocrinologist and stuff in November. And those last videos I recorded, beginning of November, my granny went to the hospital because she just wasn't herself. Like my granny lived on her own. My aunt, helped her out and everything else. My aunt took care of her quite a bit in the last month before November, but as in just staying with her and making sure she's all right. Everything else other than of October, my grandmother took care of herself. We didn't worry about her. My aunt did her shopping and took her to her doctor's appointments. That's about it. My grandmother was 85, and so November 9th, my aunt called me and told me that she might need to call an ambulance, and I need to get over there. So I stayed 8 minutes down the street. And I get down there, my granny is slumped over the table, and I'm looking at her, and her mouth is all twisted, and ding on my head, stroke. So I told my aunt, nope, call, because I told her to call before, but she's like, my aunt don't do hospitals. She's like, no, I'm waiting till you get there. Thank God I stayed 8 minutes down the street. I got there in 5. And asking my granny the questions, like, who am I? She told me my name. I said, how many granddaughters you got? She said, just you. And she stopped talking. So my granny has an older house, so almost every area has a door, and her dining room has a door. So we had to put her in the living room, whatever. It's for the ambulance to get to her. So long story short, we get to the hospital. Due to COVID, my aunt could not ride into the ambulance with her, so we had to follow behind. And when we got to the hospital, due to COVID, my aunt could not go up to the room with her. So basically, my aunt, I think, did 1 or 2 visits in the hospital with her, because they only allow 1 visitor. After that, shut down because of the spike of the COVID during the fall into winter months. And I didn't see my grandmother since she went to the hospital November 9th. And my grandmother did not have COVID. She did not have COVID. She had a stroke. And she did not snap out of it. She started to try to talk, but she spent about a month up until the 23rd, and I saw her twice in the hospital because going into towards the end of December. Now, this is my dad's mother. My dad has been gone for 5 years now, and this is a lot for my aunt, because my aunt basically is she's the child left. They only had 2 kids, my grandparents, and she's a child left. Now, my grandmother was not doing well, and she wasn't doing well towards the last couple of weeks of this month. She wasn't doing well, so we decided to put her on hospice. And just to be clear, hospice is sometimes it's not the end. Some people come out of hospice and they get off hospice. It all depends on the person, okay? And it's not just they're old, they can go on hospice. Some people not like get well, but some people get well enough they can get off hospice. That wasn't the case for my granny. So they called us, me and my cousin, because my aunt, what was it? I think it was the 18th. I'm not sure the date. I might put it on the screen. She ended up in the hospital for stomach issues, and so she was in another hospital, not the same one my grandmother was at, and she ended up in the hospital. And my grandmother was on hospice, and mind you, the hospital still no visitors. And the visitor policy was either you're having a baby or it's a pediatric patient, but the pediatric patient is one parent, and hospice patient if they're passing or they're gone. So if they're passing away or if they're already gone. So my grandmother was on hospice, so it was either passing or passing away. So that Saturday, I put dates on the board on the screen. They called my cousin because we put him down. He was the first to call, and told us that her heart rate dropped down to a dangerous low rate, and they thought she was gonna go. It was a Saturday. I was over a friend's house having a little wine time with her, so it was just me and her. And he called and told me, oh well, they said she's not doing well. Her pulse rate went dangerously low. They think she's gonna go. So I flew. My friend stays. Maybe it would have took me about almost an hour. Got there in like maybe 39 minutes. I don't know how much it was, but got over there. And as soon as we got to the hospital, because she was hospice, they thought she was gonna go. They let us go and see her. The nurse was like, well, I don't know if she knew that I was calling you, but her pulse shot up from the 20s to the 70s. And when we got there, she was so happy to see us, and she wasn't talking, and because she was weak she was weak, I do believe, it was on her right side. She was weak on her right side, and she kept taking she was weak on her left side, and she kept squeezing my hand with her right hand, and my grandmother has long nails, so she kept squeezing my hand with her and digging her nails in my hand. I was not complaining because I didn't see my grandmother for almost 2 months at that time, and she wasn't talking, but she was coherent. I would ask her, like, you miss me, and she'd nod her head. And my grandmother, she keep her hair in a ponytail, a high ponytail, and I was like, I wish I could just run a brush through it. She nodded her head so fast, because between me and my aunt, she loved when somebody brushes her hair. And then we stayed there until she fell asleep, and I just didn't want to leave her. Girl had to get herself together. So me and my cousin waited till she went to sleep, and we left. That was that Saturday. And I FaceTime. They have iPads at the hospital, so they let me FaceTime her because I do have an iPhone. And I did FaceTime her a few times. She had nodded her head when I asked her a question and everything else. And it was Tuesday the 22nd when I, called to FaceTime her. The nurse said, I'll call you back. So, I get to the room and, so you can FaceTime her. I said, okay, fine. So the nurse, it was like 10:30 in the morning when I called her. And I waited a while after, like, when I know vital times and everything else. So, she called me around 6:15 at night, and she was like, she was busy and everything. I understood. I worked in the hospital. I understood. So I called, and she pointed the iPad to me. And when my grandmother is asleep, when she was asleep in her chair, she hated when I called her Peanut, because she had a little peanut head. And she would be like, don't call me Peanut, damn it. And she, my grandmother was a sassy thing. She was a little sassy pants. And when she was looking up at the screen, I go Peanut. She'll wake up. She'll wake up and look at me. The couple times I did FaceTime her when I knew there was FaceTime. And this time I called out Peanut. Nothing. She didn't budge. She didn't flinch. And that was the 22nd of December. And that was also that would have been my dad's 64th birthday. And I talked to my cousin. I was just like, grandma's she didn't flinch, because he had called me and asked me did I FaceTime her, because he has an Android, and I said I did. Grandma didn't flinch, and he was like, well, maybe she was just sleepy. I said, no, even if she was sleepy, if I called Peanut, she would wake up a little bit and look at me for a little bit, and I'm like, I just want to say hi, Grandma, you should go back to sleep. And she'll go back to sleep, or she'll look at me for a little while longer, and then she'll let me talk to her, and then she'll go to sleep. Nothing. And I was so worried that she was going to go on my dad's birthday. I didn't want to say it was my dad's birthday and everything. If she knew what day it was, of course she knows her son's birthday. But I was so worried that she was going to go on my dad's birthday. And I was like so wound up that whole day. And about maybe like between 1:45, 2 o'clock, I don't know. It was between 1:45 and 2:30, I do believe. My cousin called me. He's a truck driver, so he works overnight, and I was happy to be off that night. And he called me, and he was like, yeah, if I'm calling you this late, she had already passed. And if you want to go up there and everything else, I can't, because I'm already working. I didn't even think about it. I went up there. My boyfriend was here. I didn't think about him driving me up there, but I just had to go. I went and drove myself. And it was 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I knew it was dangerous. I really didn't know it was dangerous. I didn't even think about it. I just got up and left. And just seeing her, I just, it's the usual. You cry, you're hurt, you have all these emotions and everything else. And I kept calling out to her. I kept calling Peanut, and I kept covering her shoulders. I kept asking her, is her back hurt? The usual things when you hurt, when you lose someone, And it's just a lot. It's a lot. And then the one thing I was just worried about is that we had to tell my aunt, and we couldn't, and we had to tell over the phone, because they wouldn't even let no visitors. Not even her husband to tell her mother passed. And the thing about it is, my aunt just found out some disheartening news about her health. I'm not going to get into the whole situation about her until she's ready to tell her own story. And if she's ready for me to say it, I'll tell it. But right now, it's just some other disheartening situations with my aunt, and I'm going to fight for her too. That's all I'm going to say, okay? And I want to put my arms around my aunt, because my aunt just lost her entire immediate family in 7 years. My grandpa died in 2013, December 28th, 2013. And my dad died 5 days after my birthday. My birthday's July 2nd. He died July 7th. So he died 5 days after my birthday in 2015. And here go my grandmother, passed away the 23rd, which is 5 days after her own husband. It's a lot. That's a lot. 5 days before. I'm sorry, not 5 days after. 5 days before. 5 days. 7 years and 5 days. before. 5 days after, but 5 days before. You know what I mean? I'm just all over the place right now. And that's a lot to deal with for someone. And now she has her son, she has her husband, but it's still a lot. Your whole immediate family in that certain amount of time, that's a lot. And then you get this news about yourself, and then I tried to battle with the hospital and like just her husband for an hour. And I understand, like, for an hour, just this situation. I'm not saying to break the rules and let him stay overnight and everything else. Just this situation for her to tell her about her mother. That's it. Like, and they was like, they were not going. And my aunt basically had a few days that she was about to give up on herself. And I had to call her every day to kick her in the butt. Basically, it's like, I can't have you give up on, your mom. My grandma was a tough cookie, and she would not want you to give up on yourself. You know that. And I kept kicking her in the butt. I had to call my mom and tell her, and everything else. But right now, my aunt is doing better. She's doing better. She's not in the hospital now. She's at home and everything else. But like, I'm gonna rally around my aunt and let her, she has all my love and all my prayers, and I'm going to do whatever she needs that I can get her. I'm gonna get it for her and everything else. So right now, I'm just ready for 2020 to be over. The end has just sucked in my family, and I'm just ready for it to go. I'm ready for this year to end. And a lot, especially some people at work, they didn't even know what was going on. They just knew I wasn't there. They knew I wasn't there because I was supposed to work Christmas. I wasn't there. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to take care of nobody for at least for 2 days. I didn't want to take care of nobody's family for 2 days. And I did not. And there was one time I did not feel bad about that. I did not. My boss understood. I have time. No, I did not. And I just wanted to be by myself. I didn't really spend a lot of time with anybody for Christmas. I went to my mom's. I stayed a little bit and gave gifts, and then I came home. I didn't go anywhere else. I didn't do too much of anything. I didn't cook. I didn't do anything. I wasn't depressed. I wasn't nothing like that. I was still mourning, but I was not depressed. But my thing is, I'm just ready for this year to be over with. And then the thing about it is, a lot of people went through a lot of loss, and a lot of loss of people and businesses, and just a lot of loss, and we still going through it, and it sucks, and we're done, and I'm tired, and we're tired, okay? So 2021, you see it's already going off, okay? They shooting, it's not even midnight yet, and they already cutting up, okay? So it is what it is. But I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm still here and I'm still living, and then I hope everybody have a good 2021. And it is 2021. Happy New Year.
Bye, bitch.
And I will be putting out new videos very soon. And if y'all still around, your girl, thank you for staying around. And that's all I have for you today. But I will have a new video soon. And I don't have to tell you what you need to do. I'm going to put it at the bottom of the screen. Have a happy new year, okay? Many blessings, hope, and wishes for everyone. And you know what I say? Stay true, stay you. And I holla back at you. Boom.